the true value creation for companies in the future will not be operations. It will be the projects that you invest and deliver.
Yeah, because I'm a big failure in my life.
The real driver of success of a project is the people.
I always wondered why people don't celebrate failures.
You're fired. Because project management is something dirty, it's not something fancy, it's not strategy.
It's such a great pleasure today to welcome Antonio. Antonio is like the god of project management. And so it's an incredible honor to have him. Wonderful guy, lot of knowledge. Everyone considers him to be absolutely brilliant. And I think this conversation is going to be so much fun.
Thank you, Shekhar. A pleasure to be here with you. I loved your podcast. I love what you do with Tomorrow Today. So thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Antonio, let's start actually with the beginning phases of your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Project management came naturally to you as part of like PricewaterhouseCoopers.
Yeah.
Spending time there. So kind of take us back, not to PricewaterhouseCoopers, but like the formative years that took you there, that actually got to settle in.
Yeah, so I have a bit of a not standard grow-up life because my father used to work for the Spanish Airlines, Iberia. So I was born in Madrid, but at the age of 2, he was moved to Mexico City. So I spent 11 years growing up in Mexico City. With my brothers. I have 3 brothers, so 4 kids. And we grew up in Mexico until I was 12. I went to German school in Mexico. My parents thought that German was going to be the language of the future. They got that wrong, but I got a good education. And from there, one of the painful moments of my life was when I was 9 years old. My parents were living in Mexico, and they sent me 1 month to Germany to learn German. I was going to the school, so they assumed I was speaking German. So they left me 1 month in a internal house, this school, with 9 years old. I didn't understand anything. And my parents were like, I don't know, 10,000 kilometers away. We could call just once per week. So it was I felt like, what's going on with my life? With 9 years old, left here in Germany. Looking backwards, good moment. It was painful. So then from that moment, I went 1 year back to Germany. When I was 13, I took my second brother, and he was 9 at the time. He spent 1 year crying in Germany. It was tough. It was very tough. But my parents thought that by being tough early ages, you become stronger, resilient. You learn to navigate. You learn to connect with other cultures. And from Germany, I moved to Italy. My father was there, the station manager in Rome. So I spent 4 years in Rome. I did my last year of high school in the U.S., Rhode Island in Providence. So it was like the smallest state in the U.S. I thought the U.S. is California, and they sent me to Rhode Island. There was not much. Nice place. And then I decided to study university in Madrid. I'm from Madrid, so I wanted to go back to my roots. And then I did 4 years. And then back to Germany to do one of these last exchange. And I started my career outside, working in the Netherlands, and then I joined PwC. So very global kind of upbringing, always coming back to Spain for Christmas, for the summer. We could fly for free. So you had that flexibility, and my parents were right in pushing me to feel Spanish, even if I didn't grow in Spain. And that's something I'm thankful for, but you can see already that it's not a normal upbringing.
So tell me, like, your experience in PwC, like, you know, the things that like you remember the most.
Yeah. Well, PwC, I have been carrying this weight since I was a kid. I was a terrible student, really. I just didn't enjoy class. I didn't understand anything. I was bad at memorizing. I, of course, loved sports. I loved the other things that are, but my kind of memory was very short. I was nervous. I didn't like to speak in public. I was panicking. So all the bad things, I managed to pass. So there were a few people worse than me that make it. But I always felt like kind of a bit, not a loser, but just something was missing. And joining PwC, one was these moments where, okay, I've achieved something that is not so bad. And in PwC, I started to focus very early on projects. I did some admin work before, like order entry and following orders and following logistics. But I found that super boring. And at one point, they asked me, do you want to join this project, which we're building a shared service center for Europe? And I said, yeah, I've never done a project. Let's see. And I loved that. It was amazing. Every day was chaos. Every day was different. You had to use your brain. You met new people. And there was a challenge in Italy. I said,
like you said, like you didn't ever use your brain.
Yeah. Exactly. It fell, and suddenly I'm using.
You thought like you had a brain.
Finally, sir. Hallelujah. So that was a moment where I felt good.
Is that why they gave you Thinkers 50?
Yes. That's really why. Sector.
You went from zero to like thinking.
Finally, this guy woke up a bit later. So that was, I was very good with language. I was very good with culture, with people, but not with the brain, you know, the memorizing. It took me a while. So in PwC, I grew up the usual up or out. So I was going up. That was good. It was not working. I felt better than studying. And at one point in these consulting firms, so I was specializing in projects and change and transformation. There was the year 2K. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
Every company was panicking, and there was a lot of projects on that space.
Yeah. What would happen once like 2000 hit? Like how they have to change everything.
Yeah, it was like the doomsday because the
computers have to change.
Yeah, that was, I don't know who invented that panic moment, but they made a lot of money.
Yeah.
We too. So that was projects, that was change, that was fear, that was resistance, and I love that. And I found already early on that projects were difficult, but my fascination went more on how do companies that have thousands of projects do it? If one is difficult, how does a big company, I don't know, Vodafone, any big company, how do they run? Even small companies, how do you run 100 projects at the same time while you're running your company? And that was kind of always my fascination. And I was going up, I was doing.
Why do projects fail?
Yeah. Why projects fail? So that was also a big trial. How is it possible? Done something that we've done for 15 years. We should find out how can we do it better, right? There must be. It's not like rocket science. It's just people and strategies and tools and organization and culture. But there must be a way that we can increase those numbers. And so that was my triggers to focus on this topic. But the bigger trigger, Shekhar, was I was convinced that every company needed help on this topic. So I made this pitch to become partner, to become a partner in this consulting firms, you need to come up with a business idea and a business plan and say, hey, partners, if you trust me with my idea, give me a couple of millions. I return that with you. Okay, I'll make you 4 million per year. My idea to become partner was, let's build something around project advisory or project management advisory services to offer to all our clients. And I was convinced. I had no doubt. 10 years working on this topic. I make my pitch. I celebrate it. I thought, I'm partner tomorrow. There's no doubt. One party, I pay the whole drinks for the whole bar. I was convinced. Partner is money, right? The day after,
they said, I'm so sorry.
Yes. Yeah. The managing partner.
It's the antibody.
Exactly. So, Antonio, you were great yesterday. We love your passion. But this is not for us. You're fired. What? You're fired. Because project management is something dirty. It's not something fancy. It's not strategy. It's not.
Why are you like, you just proposed something? Like, if they didn't like the proposal, they could have said, stay in your job and keep doing what.
They didn't believe that we could sell project management for high fees. They say we can find a project manager for.
No, but why would they fire you? Like, if like you just like made a proposal, you could have not been a partner and been.
Yeah, I could have gone for the internal track. So you just do internal projects, but that option was on the table, but I said, no way. Yeah. I want the bigger thing. So thank you. So that's kind of I was shaking. I couldn't be that partners, smart people, business people thought that project management was something dirty, tactical. And that wasn't like my big way. I didn't know what to do with my life. I didn't know what to do with my career. Should I focus on what I believe, or should I just go into marketing or finance, or just follow the normal tracks like anyone? And
how did you reconcile with that moment? Like, because job loss, or change is such a common phenomenon now.
Yes.
Everyone goes through that.
Everyone. And I think we are not prepared, but it's one of the best moments in your career. Is going through the job losses to reconsider what you want to do in life. Not what other people want you to do, but what you like to do, what you like to be spending big part of your life. And for me, that was that moment of, I didn't see it very clear. It took me like 3 months to know what I wanted to do. And I really was, let's go for the easy track. Let's do what everybody does. I'll have a normal life. I'll do whatever. Maybe I become manager, director, and so on. But somehow I felt, no, I need to change. It became like a mission for me, but for many other people.
You were like, how dare do they actually do
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I need to get back on them.
Indeed, there was a revenge feeling too.
Yeah.
And that just marked. I was lucky, Shekhar. I could find a job quickly. Yeah. Once you go into these consulting firms, they have a strong network of alumni. So at that moment, they were looking for somebody who could run projects at big scale. And I was hired by a bank. XPWC was the HR head. So I was like post-merger integration, which is just projects. So I was lucky to have very interesting jobs in corporates that are well known, but I was not fully satisfied. So that led me to have this dual career, 2 tracks. Focus corporate, but not willing to be like the CEO or just doing my job well, learning, helping. But my passion was in parallel. That research, that writing, that PMI, being the chairman, all these things was side career.
Got it.
So you recognize this situation, Shekhar?
Yeah. No, I recognize because like a lot of my friends are also going through
the same. Yeah.
It's
part of life. Nothing is forever. Yeah. The more you become resilient, the better.
Yeah. No, I think it's fortunately for me, like I got pulled into the roles a lot.
Yeah, I saw Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Disney. You've been all over that.
I got pulled into some of them, and then God was fortunate putting me into other places. So,
God and yourself too.
I know, but it's some of this is like predestined, preordained.
Yeah.
You can never have the script written.
Yeah.
You don't write it; someone writes it.
Yeah. And then you see it. Okay.
And then I got to manage the project. I got to run the project of my life,
Yeah.
Someone has already written.
Somebody is a sponsor. You have a sponsor.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. I need to tell you something very funny later about God. Yes.
So, GlaxoSmithKline.
Yeah. GSK, GlaxoSmithKline.
So you ran the project management office.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure, basically that's very different than PwC or like projects that you do with like a bank or integration stuff that you do with like some companies, because it's all time sensitive.
Yes.
Drug discovery.
Yes.
And someone's life is dependent on it.
Exactly.
So how do you kind of manage that change? Like, projects become much more critical in certain contexts versus others.
Yeah, I think from PwC, they have lots of projects. It's their core business, running projects for companies. So that was okay.
Is that why projects fail? Because PwC will have a lifeline contract?
I love that. I hope this is not recorded. No, I have a big theory. I think consulting firms and not just one of the reasons why projects take so long is I think consulting firms, the longer, the more money make, right? One thing I advocate in my book is we should be stopping projects. If it doesn't work, stop it. But there's somehow inertia to keep them running, even if they're going to fail, because there is some benefit. So I've not proven, but I have that feeling like you just mentioned.
There is a strong correlation for sure.
Yeah. Yes. But to your point on GSK, yes, when you come in banking, it's about efficiency, it's about compliance, it's about regulation, all these things, very important. A lot of technology. I don't know if you've heard that, but today in a bank, there's more IT people than bankers, which makes you think, where's the future? Where's the AI coming to this picture, right? So if you will have more technology people running companies, except of designers and product development, so where are we going? But in GSK, the nice thing is that you see the impact is on people's living and life and healthier living. And so you feel more pressure. And one thing that they do very well is they're highly prioritized. In most companies, nobody has a clue how many projects they have. Most people don't know what are the top projects. In most industries, they don't know it. In pharma, they know. They know where they're putting the big bets. They know where they can have bigger impact, when they can save more lives. They do quite a lot of non-for-profit because even if they make good money, they have a bigger cost to help in Africa, malaria. In GSK, we build vaccines that we were never going to make money, but malaria is something that will help a lot. So I think there's that social kind of consciousness of, okay, let's make big money, but also think about the other people that cannot afford it. So it's really, you elevate the project management to a higher level. The other challenge on the other side is to do projects, you need people. And many people in GSK or pharma, they have an operational role. They have to produce the vaccines. These machines have to produce 24 hours, 24/7. So you cannot take a lot of time of these people to do project work, because then you impact the supply and the production. So the friction is there. How can I get more time from the people on the shop floor to build new things? And that's been always the bigger challenge, right? But the projects there, it's great to do projects in this context.
So because the reason why I wanted to unpack this is to understand the reasons why projects fail.
Yeah.
One reason is like incentive problem.
Totally.
Right? Once basically, if there's one incentive to prolong, then you keep dragging it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're trying to build Eiffel Tower for your life.
Yeah.
That's one problem. The second is not having constraints put on you, just basically drags that whole, the criticality of time in GSK is one of the drivers I would
completely.
is one of the drivers, I would think, right? So,
Yes.
but in that case, because it is so critical, are there more checks and balances? Are the projects generally longer as well?
Yeah, they're longer.
So would you have more success because it's already longer and already delayed?
One thing to make projects successful, especially the new ones, you need to test, you need to try. And that's what they do very well with these pharma projects, is that they take zero risks. You can be investing billions in a new drug, but if it fails once, the whole project is dead. So they are extra helpful. It's not like when you are building a website and you throw it and it doesn't work, who cares, right? Or an app and you send it. And no, a drug has to be perfect. It's not a car. It's a plane, of course, has to be perfect, but there's very few projects that perfection. And you want that when you're putting something in your body that is perfect and that has things. So that's why it takes much longer. The big revolution happened, Shekhar, when we had to develop vaccines for the COVID. Usually a vaccine takes 10 to 12 years.
Yeah.
And how come Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, they did it in 12 months?
Yeah.
Not 12 years, 12 months. So what happened? And I love that. I study very much how can you do something that takes 12 years in just 10%. And it's obvious that anybody can do that. You can do it. But the criteria that you put in place are critical. You need to respect them. The sponsorship, the CEO involvement, fully dedicated resources, sharp focus, everybody aligned. All the things that we thought never work, they work here.
But there was also limited testing.
Yes. Yeah, there were some level of testing, but they all were taking some bit of risk too.
Yeah.
They couldn't do the full testing.
Yeah, I think that. Because I became a recipient of that problem.
Really? How it come?
I don't know. I got to tell you.
Tell me.
It's a long story.
No, I want to hear.
It's not as sexy as project management.
Okay, I don't mind. I like every topic.
Anyway, so you brought it up. Let me tell that.
Tell me.
So I was one of the early participants of the vaccine.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I used to do quite a lot with the government, and basically I got into the control group. And so I took the first Pfizer shot even before Pfizer came out.
Really?
Yeah. And then
wow.
And then before Pfizer got released into the market, or just after it got released into the market, my boss actually, who at the time was in American Eagle, he had me take shot along with my wife because we just had a son. And so I took the second shot.
Yeah.
Which is also Pfizer. Then I took a Moderna, there were two versions of it. It was a dual shot and a single shot.
Yeah.
And so I took the dual shot equivalent as well.
Yeah.
And then so by the time I was done with 2 years, I must have had 6 shots.
Amazing.
No, it was not amazing. Let me tell you what happened.
What happened?
So I have this heart condition, basically called bradycardia.
Okay.
And that's actually bicuspid.
Okay.
So basically I have only 2 valves. Everyone has 3 valves.
3 valves.
Shaped like this.
Yeah.
Mine looks like an eye. Right?
Wow.
Like an eye.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't know that. So basically, every time I used to take a shot, 2 weeks later, I used to feel a lot of palpitation. My heart used to feel and I used to go get admitted, and then I never thought about it, right? What is the connection between vaccine and other things? And then I go to India after a long time, and I was telling them I wanted to do all my TMTs and everything. And then they said, casually, they said okay, what else were you doing around this time? I said, nothing. I don't think so. I don't remember. But that one date actually hit me pretty hard. And they said anything between those 2 weeks, 2 to 4 weeks. And I said, hey, I took a shot. And the guy looked at those days you would have a vaccine pass.
Yeah, you had the pass.
Yeah. Just you would have the air pass, right? So, and the guy just kept plumbing through, and then he looked at all the pictures on the other side when I was admitted.
Wow.
And so there seems to be a correlation. There was no causality.
Yeah.
But he said this could be the reason. I said, maybe I should stop taking. Maybe there was excess dosage of that.
Yeah, maybe it seems to be a lot into 2 months, 6 shots.
6 shots. It was it was not 2 months, but the first shot was early. Then I took one. Then it was 2 shots after that. It was 2 shot equivalent, and then another one in 6 months, and another one in 6 months. So by the time in 2 years, I took probably 6-7 shots.
Yeah, wow, that's a lot. You get the COVID or no?
I did not get COVID at all.
No.
I felt sick once.
Yeah.
I felt like crap, but I never got COVID.
Okay. Well, I've never met somebody that went through that early trial.
And I visited warehouses. I did everything. So obviously the vaccine worked. Yes.
You're here.
I'm living.
Wow.
No side effects.
Thanks for sharing. I like it. Thank you for saving our lives.
So there was, so you were saying, so let's go back again.
Yeah.
Basically, one is the incentive. The second is basically time, or the constraint of time, the criticality that you assign. The third one you mentioned is basically focus.
Yeah.
Which is super critical.
Super critical.
And then you also talked about being deadline driven, which is very important, because that becomes the gate to understand the success or failure or something.
Yes.
So what else is important?
Just maybe to make it simple, Shekhar, there's 3 big elements that matter in any project. Transformation, small, big, is first how you define that project. If you know how the scoping, which is the requirements, if there's alignment with the team on the scoping, understanding why we do the project, the business case, the benefits. Most companies do kind of a business case, but nobody knows the benefits. They're not measurable. So doing the project right, making a good Gantt chart, doing risk management, that's not enough. So you can be the best project manager in the world, launch a project in a big company, in a big bank, and it will fail. Why? Because there's a second layer, which is the leadership team. So the leaders play a huge role, and often they don't know it. So it's not just about launching projects. Leaders love to launch projects. Kickoff meeting is the nicest word in every organization. A kickoff meeting gets excitement, right? And if they don't invite you to a kickoff meeting, you get angry. But who shows up in the second meeting where you're nobody? Right? But launching. And the leaders are the ones that prioritize projects, put focus or no focus, and then they need to follow up. So if you are like the CEO of Pfizer, he was 100% dedicated to the vaccine. That kind of engagement. Steve Jobs was spending 2 days per week in the iPhone, the Project Purple. Most CEOs don't spend time in projects. They don't like it. It's uncomfortable. They're out of their comfort. The day-to-day, they love that. That's their comfort. They're the kings and the queens. They're at the top of the pyramid. Whatever they say is right. They're always the smartest. In projects, no. Projects is teamwork. It's the best idea wins, not the highest people. So that's the second layer, Shekhar. The third layer is the organization. So that's culture, structure, governance. Most companies have structure, culture, governance, 100 years old. Hierarchy is like 200 years old. Companies still use hierarchies. It's the worst thing you can do for any project. Culture of fear. I say most of the projects that we run, you, me, companies, small, medium size, are incremental improvements. Let's do that 10% faster. Let's do that 10% cheaper. Why? Why not 100 times? Why not exponential? Because people are afraid. I work with banks. One of them told me a few weeks ago, I call them, are you crazy ideas? No, I think there's nothing better for me, compliment that anybody can give you when you give an idea is you're crazy. Thank you very much. I love that. So I was talking about this with the leadership team and say, oh yes, we have a team who's a bit weird people and they come with all these crazy ideas. And 10 years ago, someone in our group came with the idea of a digital bank. We're a bank. We're a serious thing. And you know this company called Revolut? Revolut.
Yeah.
This idea, we had it before Revolut, but they kill it because it was too crazy. So that's the thing of the culture, that the culture forces you to conform, to go not risk, 10% is good. We should have Are You Crazy projects all the time, 2 or 3, because that will bring the future. So organization, hierarchy, culture, leadership, senior leader, sponsorship, and then the project itself. And that's where you cover everything. If you have the 3 aligned, your project will be so scope. Yes.
Leadership and governance.
Governance and structure also. That's the key things.
So that is 3 or 4.
Within projects, you have scope, you have planning, you have scheduling, within leadership, you have prioritization, you have sponsorship. Within organization, you have culture. In the end, I have like 8 areas that we need to work on. And if you get that right, so the COVID vaccine, they work on the 8.
So what are the 8 father of project management?
The 8 father. Father of modern project management. That was a funny one. I like it. I take it.
What are the
8? So first, in the organizational space, I start always with culture. Culture is, you really need to promote that exponential thinking, right? And if you fail, that's okay. You're not going to be fired. If we try, most projects are experiments, so it's normal that they don't succeed.
Yeah.
So that's the culture. Structure, flat. There's nothing worse for projects than hierarchy. Some cultures, they don't like that. Yeah, in Spain, we love hierarchy. France, they love it. So when I have a workshop, they tell me, please, Antonio, we understand what you're saying. Don't tell it to everyone. Don't tell it.
It's a colonial thing.
Colonial, yes. The power is on the top, the smart people are on the top, and the rest just execute. In projects, the biggest word in projects, Shekhar, is co-creation. Co-creation. Co-creation for the benefits, co-creation for the scope. Nobody has the truth. The truth is on the teams. And it can go from the bottom to the top, of course, but not the top always. So that's the structure. Flat decisions. Imagine you're running a project, you could make a 5 million call decision on your own right now. You don't need to ask the boss. Why? Why should you? The project decides. Where does this happen? Nowhere. Very few companies. Decisions at the bottom, not at the top. Governance, that's the governance. One question I always have, Shekhar, why I go to companies and say, yeah, we have a steering committee. Steering committee is the one that supports big transformation, right? The whole executive supports it. And it's always once per month. And why once per month? Who said it should be once per month? Who invented once per month? You run your business per month. That's okay. Your finance are per month, but projects are never per month. So who said that governance has to? No, if I need to, there's nothing that will accelerate a project faster, is that getting the executive team to meet twice per week or 3 times per week on that transformation initiative. When you get the leader spending 3 hours per week, the rest of the organization will know that that project is top priority. The rest can. So you can accelerate anything. That happened with COVID. That happened with the iPhone. So that's the 3 parts on the top. Okay, organization, culture, structure, governance. Then we go to the people, the senior leaders. These are the people who don't know how to prioritize. They're used to want everything, and they are not able to say no to this. So every company today in the world, they have more projects than they can ever do. One of my favorite exercises is go to any company and we can go together. I'll invite you next time. It's fun. Say, give me the list of projects. And they make a list of 100 projects. Right now, we're going to cut 60% of your projects. We kill them right now. Now, we sent an email. These 60 projects are canceled with one condition. You don't fire the people. The people in those projects are repositioned on the most strategic projects. On the 40 that we decide we're going to, and they're afraid. They say, I'm not sure, and we might hurt some feelings. And what do, so the leadership very afraid of cutting. Once they do that, you know how the people in the organization react? They're super happy. They say, my God, thank you. Finally, we know where to focus. So that prioritization is a very important skill. The fifth, really important, Shekhar, this is the most frustrating for me. I work for large companies where every time I was launching a project for GSK, for BNP, I was asking, let's give me 20 people, right? To do this big transformation, I need 20 people full-time. I want them full-time. We know that projects with full-time people run 3 times faster than the ones part-time, because you have other things to do and you work with me 2 hours per week, but the rest of the time you're doing other. No, I want you to work with me 100%, okay? You and the other. And I never managed to get a team of 20 people full-time. How is it possible that a company with 50,000 employees cannot give me 20 people full-time? Why is that not possible? I don't know. I don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah. They're doing other things.
They're doing other things, and they're afraid because they have all a fixed job. So they say, okay, I work 1 day per week, but leave me my fixed job, yeah, to business. And in case the project fail, I always can fall back. When the project is over, I still have that fallback. And so you end up doing hundreds of projects with part-time people, so nothing gets done. Nothing gets done. The best companies I research from, they extract you, they force you to say, okay, for the next 6 months, don't worry, if the project fails or finish, we'll guarantee employment into something else. And there's...
How will you guarantee without a skill?
Because the skill of just working on a project is a skill that very few people have. It's working with different teams. It's working cross-organization. It's about people, right? The things that AI will do is the other things, but the people not yet. So you build skills that you don't have by growing in a business. So that's something that for me, it's the biggest frustration is why companies with 50,000 people cannot give me 20 people full-time. Why do we need to rely on our friends, the consultants? They give you not 20, they give you 30 for your project, right? And you train them and they go to another company. At the end, you have nobody who knows how to run projects within the companies. You see? That's a big issue. So I work a lot with HR and say, you need to stop thinking about the past, think about the future. And you know one thing they tell me, Shekhar, when somebody dares to say, okay, I'm going to drop my day-to-day job, okay? I'm going to take a good friend of me, Iñaki, from a bank, told me, I've been doing 15 years risk management. I have a team of 20 people. One point, leadership said, we found a machine that can do risk management for the whole bank. No holidays, working 24 hours. So your team is dismantled as from tomorrow. But you, Iñaki, you're going to move into a project, big digital transformation, European. He called me, Antonio, I have no clue about projects. Nothing. I just run a team. I know risk management. And you know what he told me after 2 months? Antonio, I love my new job. Working in projects, every day is different. I meet new people. I use my brain, remember? I don't know what will happen in 6 months when the project is over, but I see my job completely different. So projects allow you to learn and to new people and new challenges. So once you do the step, you move away from I'm afraid to I'm full-time on this, your career changes for the better.
That's only 5.
6, performance. I just wrote an article for HBR. How do you measure transformation? We know how to measure the business. We know how to measure running the business, the operations, the finance, but very few companies will tell you we're investing in the right projects. Very few companies are building the future. Very few companies can measure. And to your point, Shekhar, very few companies reward people on project outcomes. So you're rewarding on how they run the business, And that's why you get most people here. If you would reward people for jumping into a project, hey, you get a 10% share of what we win for all the team. You'll get much more dedication. So the whole performance management. So that's the third on the leadership aspect. So this is things that the leaders have to do. The last two is how we create value. One through operations. But my take on this book is that operations has been core. So operations has been the king always. We need to run this business. We need to deliver. That's going to, with AI and robots, operations will be done with AI and robots very soon, right? So you don't need people to run operations, and it will become modular. I think operations will be modulars. If you have tariffs, then and you have demands, supply chain issues, you buy operations, you buy here. So it's going to be much more flexible. It's still core, but then we will generate more value, which is the last one, through projects. So the true value creation for companies in the future will not be operations. It will be the projects that you invest and deliver.
Got it.
So that's the 8.
So operations and then?
Value creation, projects, transformation. So operations and projects, both of them will deliver the value, not just operations.
So how does that map it back to like scope?
Well, the scope comes into the projects. So it's the scope is individual, right? So
the 8 maps to the 3, or it's just like...
Yeah. So
the value and operations fits where?
With the projects. So it's a third dimension. So you have the organization, where are we playing, the operating model, the leadership skills and behavior, and then how we run projects. And that's where you have...
3 and 2.
Yeah. And that's where you have the scope. That's where you have the WBS, work breakdown structure, where the Gantt charts, all that individually for your projects.
Got it.
And here I say, okay, one thing I've learned, for example, never ever have projects longer than 6 months. So because you don't know. I just wrote an article for LinkedIn. Who on earth decided that you should have 5 years projects on software?
I didn't have.
Yeah? And how did it work?
No, I still took my exam.
Yeah? No. Really? Oh.
It was a very simple question they asked me.
Yeah.
They said like you have to have 5,400 hours.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Like that was a project management like PGP.
Yeah, certification, right? Yeah.
So I said, okay, like let me count like the number of hours in a year.
Yes.
And how many hours do I really work?
Yeah.
Versus like how much I get paid for. I used to work longer than what I used to get paid for.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to count those hours.
Okay.
And in 2006, I actually got my project management certification.
The PMP, wow. Yeah. Nice, well done. You're smart.
And I was also program management.
Yeah, what type of projects? IT or?
So I used to do all of the Coca-Cola's redesign of their delivery systems.
Yeah. Yeah.
So everything from warehousing to delivery truck operations. We were sending 3 trucks into the same parking lot. So geo-based delivery versus like, channel-based delivery.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then basically we took all of the work which is done on the road, brought it back into the warehouse. So the mechanization and the automation of, not automation per se, like it was called cool lift, which was like carbon dioxide lift. But
okay.
So we had to redesign the structure of the quantity of item that moves.
Yeah.
How does it move into the store? And then how does it work back into the warehouse? So I built it in the warehouse the way it needs to get delivered and then deliver it.
Wow.
So that was a whole initiative. And then the design of the network, deployment of the capital assets, like how many trucks do we need? What kind of truck do we need? Like what do we do with the old one?
Yeah.
And the replacement.
All these.
So it was a very large scale initiative, and like it became an industry standard. So that's why I said like I have like 5,400 hours. So
yeah,
like with SARS.
I love it. It's so good.
Well, like
it's true. You're right.
And then someone asked me like, so how did you get your? How many years of experience do you have? I said like
it's your job.
3. And like, how did you get your like project management? I said like I wrote. I couldn't cheat.
Yeah. No, you cannot. Very smart. Wow. Well done. One question. What's it?
But anyway, going back to your question of 8 things, right? That was very well articulated and it was beautiful. I think that's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you helped me versus me trying to figure it out because I'm not the father.
Not yet. I like it.
So let's touch on the ABN AMRO users.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So while the SmithKline Beecham thing actually, the GSK actually helped you.
Yeah.
What really happened to the ABN AMRO thing?
So at the moment, I was head of post-merger integration in a bank called Fortis, one of the biggest companies in Belgium. I was director there. And at one point, they decided to buy this bank in the Netherlands called ABN AMRO, which was not only the biggest bank, but the biggest company. They were calling the crown, the jewel of the crown. So it's symbolic, was like the best company in the Netherlands. And Belgians and the Dutch, they are not very friendly to each other. They all make jokes, but it was a consortium. So we were 3 banks: Royal Bank of Scotland, Banco Santander from Spain, and there was Fortis, and they sent me to Amsterdam to do the whole. The challenge with this project was there was not a normal integration. It was first you split a bank in 3. It's not like a cake or a burger that you can, or a pizza, because it's all intertwined. So it was very, very complex taking cuts into the business, and I realized maybe we should have thought this before going into this, but then the whole collapse of Lehman Brothers and all this came on top. So it was like suddenly from one day to another, there was no liquidity. Our bank, Fortis, had taken too much risk.
So it was not a project management problem.
It was not working. The integration was not working.
Because of the liquidity problem.
Yeah. And then there was the bigger context, which was really bad for banks. But our bank had taken a lot of risks on the subprime. This merger was a big risk. So again, it's a question of prioritization. You cannot do everything. You need to know where the limits are. You need to focus on 1 or 2 things, not 3 or 5. And that's what the leadership didn't do very well. We wanted to grow fast. We wanted to be big. And we didn't realize that we were taking way too far risks. Nobody saw the crisis. And even this merger was very painful, very difficult. I learned a lot on the bad side on sometimes some projects should not take place or should take them more step by step, not big bang. See whether you can enter and take one piece of the business, but not the whole business. So being ambitious is good, but you have to also be realistic on how fast some things can happen, some others less. People, aspects, systems, process. It takes time to just pull them apart, and I didn't think it was going to take so much time. Resistance. People were sabotaging also, didn't want to cooperate. So there were a lot of politics behind. Some projects are highly political. How do you deal with that? I was still a bit fresh, and I didn't realize the politics can kill your project. I always say there's somebody happy.
Hold on a second. I don't think you were fresh. You talked about Y2K.
This type of mergers I'd never had. So I'd had done big projects, but at this global scale with 3 banks, you always learn. The more you go up, the different issues you have. It's not so much about the scope or the plan, but it's more about the games that they're playing at the top that I had not seen.
Got it. So basically, so you're saying that judgment and then relational
absolutely
aspects of this, and then the whole management of politics.
Yes.
So these are like human skills that you need to have.
Yeah, and I didn't have them. So I knew good how to plan. I was good at many things on the project field, but then I realized there's another space here. And for me, that was something that was not my field. So I was expecting the sponsorship, the leadership to take care. I learned that from then on that it's something that I'm more demanding, stronger. For example, if you're running a project for a large transformation and the sponsor is not playing the role, has no time, is micromanaging, I step up and I say, listen, leadership, we need a sponsor. We need somebody good. So I would step up now into those, hey, there's politics here, okay? So you want the project or you see whatever, but we need to take a decision, okay? It's not my project, remember, it's our project, okay? So now I have the maturity, I have the clarity of bringing project issues that were not in my scope to the scope of the discussion. And that's what I learned. It's something that most project managers don't do. They say that's not my field. This is politics. It's not for me.
So let's go back again because this is a very important topic, and I want to touch on it a little bit. So we talked about judgment.
Yes.
You talked about resources, and sorry, not resources.
Prioritization, focus. Yeah.
No. We had three other things. I'm trying to go back.
Sponsorship.
No, we talked about judgment, politics.
Yeah.
And the third one was relationships.
Yeah, people relationships.
So if you were to take those three things again, and if you had a better understanding of those three aspects, right? Would that ABN AMRO project have been a success or no?
I think so. Yes. Although there are the external factors have big influence and you cannot control and you cannot, but you can control your project versus the external. So you can descope it, you can face it, you can be much more proactive. You can maybe see opportunities in the crisis. There were opportunities. Some people make good money. But we were not prepared. We were trying to firefight and trying to survive because we were not prepared. So now that you're saying yes, now that I know the judgment, the politics, the relationship, I can control that very well. I'm not afraid. I can speak up to anyone. In a CEO, I can talk to whenever. If there's a need for that person, I will do it. I see projects as zero hierarchy. We're all in the same boat. So if you're, I don't know, Trump or Bill Gates, I will call you. I say, listen, I need a decision from you. Let's stop the game. Or we stop the project. It's your call, but let's stop the games. So, but you don't get to this level without going through these painful moments, right?
So the pain is what like humans will go through even in the AI world.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
AI cannot replace it.
Yeah, exactly.
The judgment, because like the reason why I brought up those things is, there could be many things which could happen in the world of project management with AI, whether it's scheduling resources, understanding the risk, all of that, right?
Yeah,
like,
all these,
updating, managing to milestones, communicating, coordinating,
all these things.
All that, that you could AI, eyes, everything.
Yeah.
But these three things, which are very important for a success of any project, which is the judgment, which is the politics, management of politics.
Completely.
And then the relational aspects of how you kind of maneuver through, situations, is a trained human skill. Not so much a pattern recognition.
Exactly.
Because you may try to replicate that for ABN AMRO, but the next time you get the same, you try to do it in a different context, it's completely different.
Very different.
That's where humans have to still kind of lean in.
Yeah, that's where we have this advantage on the technology so far. So that judgment, the three that you mentioned, Shekhar, are perfect. And I think one thing that it's very annoying for me now that I see it so clear is that even if we say people are the center of everything and projects on even more, we have not put them in reality. So most of the projects that we do, most of the projects that companies do, they're run by groups of people. Groups of people means that they don't put their passion, they don't put their heart, they just go to a meeting for an hour per week and nobody took care of creating a team. And there's nothing more fascinating, rewarding than working in a team that you trust, that you say, hey, Shekhar, how are you? Great, let's go. Let's work together. But we miss that. So most of the projects, I would say 99% of the projects are soulless. There's a group of people, but there's not a team behind. And even PMI methodologies, the people part comes at the end. We first put the tools. We always thought that the Gantt chart was the key thing of a project, the scope, the triple constraints. But no, the real driver of success of a project is the people. If you spend time at the beginning of a project, say, this is how I started my last years. What I do now with companies is, today we start the project. We're not going to talk about the project. Who cares about the benefit? Nobody. We're going to talk about us. And we're going to make a team. That's my priority for this week. And you cannot imagine the passion. The people are happy to go to work. They're proud. They tell to their family and friend circuits, I'm working on this project. I feel so good. But we forgot. We didn't have time. And now with AI, either we do that or we're out.
Yeah.
Because the Gantt will be done by AI.
I know.
It's strong. It's scary. It's urgent.
Have you ever thought about project management similar to movie making?
Yes. We did an article for HBR and it's very similar. How movies are created. It's really projects. You have this recording, but then also you need to make the money afterwards. And it's fascinating how well it works. And when there's that connection, that community, that feeling, those tend to be the most successful movies, not just because the planning or the tools, but the human aspect again, sharing the emotions that people can relate. So I wrote an article because it's a really good example of the industry of movie making, the Hollywood thing.
Oh, I didn't read that article. I just made it that out.
Yeah, no, but
Seriously?
It's great, really. What?
I swear.
We need to write an article together, Shekhar.
I don't think I
Really?
have time. No, I have time for you, but I don't have time for article.
Okay. But I think we can brainstorm something here.
Yeah.
It's very powerful. Yes.
So I think there are a lot of good analogies of how to manage a good project.
Yeah.
Outside of the realm of who we are. When you go back and apply it, why is a James Cameron movie a success?
Yes.
Because there's a leader called James Cameron who's in charge.
Yeah.
And then he has technicians and he has the governance process.
Yeah.
He has the meticulous way he actually goes about it. And then boom.
Deliver.
And I got Avatar, which makes $2 billion.
Exactly. And they're very good at the planning. They're very good at the testing. They're good at the core basic project management that you still need, and AI will take care soon. But that part, they know that brings value, but they don't forget about the other. What we're talking, judgment, people, political relationship. They have that backbone that helps to do the rest much better. It happens with architectures like the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao is one of the perfect project in this big construction, because they had this process, this backbone of planning, on prototyping, and then once you go to the execution, they knew exactly what they had to do. They finish on time, they finish below budget because of that backbone. But still, the people side is very much taken care too.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Are there some very exciting projects that you have had that you learned the most from, besides AB and AMRO?
No, I learned the good thing, Shekhar, is that with every project you have the opportunity to learn. It's just hard to be a full expert on everything in a project. Every time is different. So either the technology is different, the people. But for example, I worked my last year, 3 years in sustainability. I was part of the core team doing the big transformation for
I thought there's nothing called sustainability.
No.
I thought Earth will sustain itself.
I like it. So this is how it was called some years ago.
Yes. I get it.
So we were part of that big movement, and it was interesting because for the first time people understood what projects were for. So you had lots of engagement. Most of the projects that we launched, the engagement is zero. Like any big SAP, ERP implementation, software implementation, people hate that, right? Reorganization, people hate that. New product launches, that's exciting. But with sustainability at the time was, it's not just about us. It's about the planet. It's about the future. So that had an extra engagement, less resistance. So it made me think, how can we make projects which bring more impact and people want to volunteer?
Do they?
Do they? At that time, yes. Now there's more doubt, but there was a conviction that it's not just about the project. It's about doing something better. I call it the purpose.
I'm struggling with that idea.
In what sense?
So
it's fair, huh? But
no. I think I have a sustainability problem.
Mm-hmm.
both financially for my business and otherwise just regularly.
Yeah, the whole movement you can put.
Yeah. So so basically, if I think about the biggest problem AI has today is alignment of AI.
Yes.
Like, where is it pointed?
Yes.
Right. If it's not pointed in the right direction, it's just going to be a train wreck.
That's why you're working now. You told me.
I'm working on it. But I find it extraordinarily interesting that the number of takers for that is very limited.
The consciousness.
Yeah, they all say Shekhar, we love you. What a great purpose.
Yeah.
What an inspiration.
Yeah.
And then how do we make money again?
Yeah.
The capitalist within us kicks in and takes over our life.
Yeah.
And so I find that interesting, but
no, but it's great. I like to be challenged, and I see your point. So
yeah. So I think we always the dichotomy of the human is what human craves is what the human also rejects.
Yes. Yeah. It's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
So
right.
you crave for love, but you reject it when you get it.
Yeah.
Everything is that, so it's you crave for people are talking about, oh my God, AI is going to be doomsday scenario and all that stuff. And people are shoving it down the throat. And I'm you got an option. Here's the option. There's a different option. You should not just what I'm trying to do. There are other people who are doing similar things.
Yeah.
So, but people don't exercise that judgment.
No.
I don't know why we actually have this very
contradictory, no?
Yeah. Is there any psychological thing to this, Dr. Economist Antonio?
I don't know. I think you always think that the grass is greener somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And you kind of don't have the patience. I think some of these topics, like the one you just talked, require time, require thinking, require silence, require patience. And somehow we don't have the patience. And also one thing that I notice with projects is that often the soft benefits, like the ones you're talking, other kind of, it's just hard to measure. But when you learn to measure, how can we measure consciousness of AI? Can you tell me how, if we implement consciousness in my LLMs at work, what are the benefits that I'm going to get beyond paying a lot of money? So when you learn to measure the benefits of a solution that is more intangible or long-term, people connect.
But it's intangible. How do you measure?
You can measure anything. You can measure love, right? What do you love? Would you love more your wife or the dog?
That's relative.
Yeah. So at least you start measuring. It's okay, that one. So how much? You start making assumptions.
Measurement without precision.
You make assumptions.
Yeah.
So if you need to put a number to love of your dog, maybe 7, and your wife is 9, there's room for improvement. So you start kind of measuring everything. And another thing I'm one of the biggest tools that I brought to project management is measuring all the benefits. So if you have a benefit in your project or transformation that you cannot measure, it's a wish. It's not a project benefit. Okay. So everything there's lots of transformation today about harmonization, standardization, one single through. This is all crap. This is all useless. People that have to do the work will not understand any of this. So let's measure. Tell me. And one thing that I do is, instead of you imposing the benefit, let the people tell you what are the benefits for them. So, Shekhar, what will make your life better with this big digital transformation for your part of the business? Is there, oh yes, for me, time to market is critical. We're 12 months every product. We want to go to 6. That's a benefit for this project. That's great for you. So if I help you, you help me. But we've made something concrete. And when I meet you, I don't talk about a Gantt chart. I talk about your benefit. Shekhar, not 6 months. We can do it in 3 months, but I need this from you. We forgot that part is never being covered in projects. We have the business case, return on investment. Nobody cares. It's just numbers. But the real measurement of what you're doing with your consciousness, it might not come from you, the benefits. It might come from the people who are going to be using that. You need to ask. So that benefit workshop is the most important step before starting any project. If you have a big transformation, and the people who are going to be using whatever transformation don't see any benefit, forget it. It's not going to work. If your consciousness AI, you're going to launch it, but nobody sees concrete benefits, it's not going to work. I can tell you already. You're wasting your time.
Yeah, I know. I feel that too. So I'll become the unconscious or the sleeper cell.
It's true. I'm honest. Okay, but spend the time. Let's get the stakeholders. Say, which benefits would you see for your job, for you, for your 12? How do you measure it?
Yeah,
and then you'll start getting some pull.
Yeah, I think I should give you that project.
Let's do it together. I love the topic.
Yeah. I think
I'm just very expensive. Joke.
I thought you wanted me to write your article, so I can contribute on the article, and you can come sit with me and do this thing for me.
We can do it.
And together,
we can do it.
I think together you could actually nudge the world in a better place.
That's. I know you might have a question about what's my next thing, and might come later. So I leave that for later because there's some ideas I have. Yeah,
that's good. So Thinkers 50.
Yeah, oof.
You're the only guy in Spain who thinks. How's that? How is that possible?
I never look at that like that. So that's obviously not true, but
but is it not a fact that you're the only Spaniard who won?
There's a couple of other Latin America in the ranking. One person from Cuba, working in London Business School, very nice, Herminia Ibarra. There's an Argentinian as well. But that's about, this is, Thinkers 50 was created 25 years ago, 2020, by 2 journalists from the Financial Times. They were working on
Are they
books.
Are they from UK?
The UK, yes.
Oh, I'm sure. It's all colonization too.
All, yeah.
I'm so sorry to say that. I'm sorry.
There's a bit of that.
So somehow they actually thought you were like part of them.
Yes.
How so? Because you wrote your books that sounded like them?
Yes. How do you know? You know them?
I'm just making shit up now.
So these guys they're very thorough, and they thought there's no they were reviewing books, management. And at that time, there were great management thinkers from India as well. And of course, the classic one, Michael Porter, Tom Peters, all these, for me has been always, who do you like? I like, of course, soccer, football, but if I wanted to meet somebody, was a thinker in terms of leadership. Why? Because these people were making things simple. You remember when we started, I didn't get anything at school. I did my MBA in London Business School, and I was maybe, how old I was? Already around 29, 30. And it was the first time ever that the first class was about branding. And I understood everything. And not only I understood, but it got my attention for 60 minutes. I was just, the guy was just talking about Apple and Volkswagen and things that I could relate. So I learned that you can teach things simple. And so I was always fascinated by thinkers around leadership management that could make things simple and that everybody can use that. And some years to tell you how I end up in teaching. The first training I went in PwC was a 5 days training on project management. It was the most boring training in my life. Boring, horrible. I didn't understand anything. It was dry. They thought that I was going to build ships and infrastructure bridges and nuclear plants. And I was just doing year-to-K projects. So I made a kind of commitment for myself. I want to teach project management that is exciting, that's easy, that I can keep your attention for 8 hours or 16 hours. And the day after, you can apply all the tools that you need tomorrow. So that's why I'm now doing a lot of this. Every company needs this kind of transformation skills. But back to the Thinkers 50, the guys are very thorough, and they wanted to build this kind of ranking of who are the most influential people in leadership and management. And it was very tough because they say, who are you? You're Spanish. It's very Anglo-Saxon, very business school, business school driven. So they go for the MIT, the Harvard. In the 50, there's maybe 40 that comes from top business schools, INSEAD, IMD, London Business School, some from India, and mostly from the US. And there's room for a little crazy people, and I am one of them. Especially Spanish. The Spanish people are very bright. We have great companies, Sara, Inditex, few others. So great people, but we're afraid of speaking English. We're afraid of moving outside. And I was lucky because I grew outside Spain. So my natural field game was outside, and I feel comfortable talking to other cultures. I feel comfortable to speak English, although it's not perfect. But that was a big target, and it took me like 7 years to convince them. So I never give up. I just say, okay.
You keep submitting.
Yeah, I say, listen, in the last 20 years, you praised so many people about innovation, entrepreneurship, technology. No one on projects. And you know what? The only way you get all these things done is through projects, right? Maybe it's not a fancy. I've been fired because nobody understood projects, but you should have somebody that gets things done, okay? Do all the ideas in the future, but get things done. And the only way to get things done is through projects. And after 7 years, they realized that they had a gap. So that's how I got into it. And I'm still surprised I'm in the list, but I'm still there.
Got it. So I thought I actually had a conspiracy theory on that too.
Tell me.
One was the onion conspiracy theory. The other one was the other conspiracy theory. I thought you just basically had your book written by some Anglo-Saxon guy who knew exactly how to write for Harvard Business Review. That is one type of crazy theory. And the second theory is you kept sending them emails saying that it is important. Yeah. And then you finally realize that you have to sound more British.
Yes. Yeah. I tried that. They got me. So
but they looked at your name. You could have said your name was Tony
Rodriguez.
No,
yes.
not Rodriguez.
Tony.
Tony Rodney.
No, they're very fair. They're very thorough. They are.
I'm sure.
They are.
No, one of my friends is actually on that. Like his name is Sangeet Paul Chaudhary.
Of course, yes, it's great. I love. He was there last year.
Yeah. He was on the last.
Yeah.
episode.
So if this is an area you want to get recognized, and for me, what's important for me and for the profession, remember, there's like 10 million people working in projects every day.
Yeah.
These people are never recognized.
Yeah.
So I did it for me, but more for all these millions of people who, hey, you're doing a great job. Yeah, it's not easy doing projects.
Yeah.
Well done.
I think like, that Thinker 50 is a bad connotation. Like, it only means that like others don't think.
Yeah.
I think it should be more like Brilliant 50. So
I never thought about that like that, but you're right. It makes feel like what happens with the other billions of people, they don't think.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, wow.
So
it's something I can use in my advantage.
Yeah, you should say. Like you should say I'm in the Brilliant 50, not like the Thinker 50.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So the canvas.
Yeah, the canvas. Oh.
So the canvas like looks eerie similar to the strategizer canvas.
Yes, the business model canvas. Yes.
Yeah. So was it like a lift and shift from there, or was it like Was it inspired, or
it was inspired? It was reviewed by Alex Osterwald and Eve, because I meet them now. I go to this forum. They were idols for me. The Alex and Osterwald and the strategy.
Does that like business canvas thing work?
Yeah. I don't know. These things works part-time.
So why did you copy someone's thing which doesn't work?
It kind of works. Nothing is perfect, but these tools, for me, you can see a trend. There's this trend of nobody understanding project management early in my career, frustrated. The methodology, I was chairman of PMI. That's the biggest role in the world in project management. And yet we have this book called the Project Management Body of Knowledge, PMBOK, that you Shekhar had to study. And it was
I memorized it.
No way, 500 pages and then 700 pages.
Yeah.
So it's a great resource, but it's not a guide to do projects. And it was too cumbersome. Everything is very cumbersome in project management.
Yeah.
So that was the frustration I grew up. And then you see Agile. Agile has nothing. Agile is one page of 12 principles, and that's it, the manifesto. And then do it like you want, working teams, do stand-ups, have post-its on the walls, and that's it. And you can do not the best projects, but you can progress on things. So, and project management was the opposite. The more paper you create, the more in control you are. So it's just very bureaucratic. So what I did is I needed to find a way to make it super simple. That I can have a meeting with you and these two guys. You have an idea. We put it and see if the project can be well defined or not. It's an alignment tool, a commitment tool. From a vague idea, using that tool in one page, we will align and we'll decide and we'll commit, or not align, not decide, not commit. But at least you start already with the right approach. The projects that we start today, it's chaos from day one. There's no alignment. One of the words I use, there's no alignment. So the tool helps you to align. It will not manage your project. It's not a Gantt chart. It's not, but it covers all the foundations or pillars. And I checked that with Alex, although I agree these tools are never perfect. It's how you use it. But if you know how to use them, there's so many companies that use it just because it's simple. One big
and it's a visual map. Like
it's a visual map,
like a business canvas.
It's like the business canvas. You have the 7 P's of marketing from Kotter, just 7 P's. It's a marketing discussion tool. You have 5 forces from Porter. So these are tools. For me, the key was tools that are simply that you can use the day after, and you don't need to be a PhD in strategy or PMP. You can get anybody to discuss a project without having that technical knowledge.
On a piece of paper.
On a piece of paper.
Got it.
And you can present it, you can communicate, you don't need a Gantt chart, you don't need 50 slides. One slide, I can tell you about the project.
But how do you deal with the complexities?
The complexities is your problem. That's your kitchen. You need to take care. You take care, but you don't need to share the complexity to other.
So that, like, so the canvas doesn't have the complexity.
No.
So where do you actually deliberate on the complexity?
You deliver with your team. You say, okay, which are the difficult stakeholders? How many systems do we have to take care?
Got it.
So these are like, it's like when you
level 2, level 3.
Yeah, when you go to a restaurant, you don't care how they did the dish. You just care that it's tasty and it's good. But there's a big process behind. I don't bring you the process to your dish. Otherwise, you just get confused. So that's what we did. We were bringing the project management problems to all the stakeholders. They have no clue and they're not interested.
But if there's no appreciation to the complexities, they would like simply...
No. You mention them. You can say, okay, this is not going to be easy. I need all the help of all of you. Are you in or are you out? Are you ready to put 2 hours per week? So you get that commitment and saying, okay, manage the expectations. But then how you prioritize, how you interdependencies, all these complexities that you face them. This is something that you deal and you discuss them ad hoc with the technology people. It is very important to know where the technical part comes into the projects and where is the people, the politics, the judgment, the value. That is what is getting the pull from the end users, the stakeholders.
You know, a lot like I wish like something PMI actually did that would actually benefit the society. I always wondered.
Yeah.
I always wondered why people don't celebrate failures.
Oh, I love that topic. Shekhar, maybe this is the article we need to write.
Yeah, because I'm a big failure in my life.
Well,
seriously. So I can talk about all my failures of life. I'm the biggest loser.
But you have millions of followers. This is a huge.
That is not success, my friend. Like,
what's success for you?
Like making sure that you deliver on what you commit to.
Yeah.
So, so I think so what would be very interesting, I always thought what would be very interesting is despite all of the amazing, intent and all of that thing that goes into the project, 90% of the projects fail.
Completely.
90% of them fail.
Yes. It's crazy.
And so if 90% of people are failing, I'm sure everyone somewhere along the line has failed. And their learnings could have been my, inputs that I could have actually not failed.
Yeah.
And so that would have actually, I'm thinking logically, that would have reduced the gap.
Yes.
Of learning.
Yes.
From the obvious, the AB and AMRO question I asked you.
Yeah.
So had you basically talked about that failure, the colossal failure, why it happened, and what went wrong, another one who's going to be doing something like that now has a blueprint and knows knows how to basically apply that judgment, that politics mapping, or the stakeholder mapping, and also basically how to think about what is the third thing again?
We talk about politics, relationships, and judgments. Yeah, I forget too. Oh, you're busy. You have so many podcasts.
No,
you need to jump from one topic to another.
No. Like a monkey.
But you raise a really good point. I always challenge things like, why do we have a steering committee once per month? Why all the projects are incremental improvement? Why don't we? And one of the challenges I have is also why we never use lessons learned.
Yeah. Celebrate.
And celebrate the two. Why don't we celebrate failure? Because failure is, for me, the biggest learnings in my life have been always failures. It's like a mini MBA. Because
I have an idea for you.
Tell me.
You could propose to PMI.
Tell me.
So every so often you got to renew your certification.
Every 3 years.
Yeah, I forgot because I haven't.
Okay,
I didn't need it. I didn't need that after a while. So I think I did it till 2011.
Yeah,
and then I found 2000.
You did it once. That's okay.
Yeah, and then I forgot all about it.
Yeah.
So so I think the incentive would be every 3 years. You could actually keep it for 4 or 5 years if you regularly post on your failures.
Wow. I like it.
then you're a...
Yeah. Then you build that knowledge, know-how. I love it. I like these talks when you make me think, and you're making me think quite a lot.
Yeah.
There's something also human that we somehow don't like to look at failures from others. I don't know what it is, but it's just incredible. Big projects that we know they're always failing. We still never learn or go back to what went wrong. We just think that we are so good that this is not going to happen. And there's one example that for me, it's I think very relevant here is projects in our personal life. So we know the rate of divorce. This is a big project. Like marriage is a big project. And we're failing more and more and more. And nobody stopped to think why. Or
Cell phones.
Cell phones is one thing. Yeah, social media. But do you learn the risks of a bad marriage? And there is, but many people get into the wrong marriage without knowing what to expect. So all the learning in a project so important in our lives is we just go, we just jump.
Yeah.
Like it's new, but it's not new. It's been done for centuries. So where are the lessons learned? Why do we don't spend time to have a talk and discuss and be sure 100%? So it's a bit like with work projects. We just jump, and we'll see.
Yeah. So I think communication is a big problem.
Yeah,
and
communication in the project there. Yeah,
that's a huge problem. Always is a huge problem.
Oh, yeah.
How to communicate effectively, and who needs to be communicated to, and who needs to be communicated by.
Yes. Yeah.
And just making sure that clarity is known.
It's clear, no? And the listening part too of the communication.
Yeah.
That you can listen.
Yeah.
In projects, we don't do that enough. Yeah. Okay, so that was the project canvas. So the tool is free and people are using it and
love it.
And they love it. And I get always every week, like, this was great. The first time my boss saw my presentation said, it's the first time I understand what you're doing. So this is what you want, right?
Yeah. Did you not feel like, why am I working for this guy? He doesn't even know what I was doing. And he was managing me.
I didn't ask that. Next time I will ask it.
That would be a CLM.
Yeah. Career limited move. Yeah. Oh my God. Looks like we're having fun here.
Yeah. So, writing across cultures.
Yeah.
And geographies.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
Well, I think that's my advantage. Of course, growing up in different countries is not easy. You lose friends. You need to start from scratch all the time. You start new schools, different language, different cultures. But the good side is that you become really global person. You appreciate the qualities of different cultures and you adapt and you get the best. So for me, the writing, when I write, it has to be understood in China, in Japan, in South America, in India. That's why I try to be extra simple on my approaches, on the tools that I bring, on the concepts. And that's also part of projects, right? If you do a project in India, 90% is very similar to projects in Spain. The basics are there. So that's how I write. My goal is that you can use it anywhere. My examples come from everywhere in the world. So I think
do you call out the differences though?
There's always different cultural differences.
Cultural differences
is the big one.
Hierarchy differences.
Yes.
India is a very feudalistic society.
Yes. Yeah.
Like hierarchy.
Very hierarchical. So these concepts sometimes are more challenging, but India is a country, they love projects. They try to bring their own rocket to the space. What a project, right? So I think this is what I really like. Countries that appreciate the value of projects. In Scandinavia, they love projects. They see projects as the future. For me, the best definition of what is a project is the future. So every project you work, you're building the future. So it's better do it right? Or don't make a mess. Some of them will fail, but will help you to build the future. So for me, that's...
So what is project economy then?
Project economy, Shekhar says that the rest of your life, you're just going to work in projects. So you're not going to do any operational tasks. You're not...
Oh, you're going to like kill so many hearts.
Yeah.
All those guys who love control and want to have hierarchy.
They will gone. They will be gone. All the finance, controlling, logistics already. I think AI is the first big wave, the first tsunami. Robots will be the second. So we'll have humanoids there. And I teach a lot. I do keynotes a lot. You'll have a robot doing that job too. Why not?
It does not sound like you though.
But they're getting better and better. They're getting more human. They're getting cuter. So I think it moves so fast.
So you're not cute.
No. It depends. You're cute. No, for me, the big change will come with robots, with AI, that you will have at home. They will take care of all the things that you don't like. And they will do things in operations that you never thought. I worked for a big luxury company in France globally with the transformation team. And we were talking about the future of work. And for them, the sales channel for them is hairdressers. Hairdressers is how they sell their shampoos. So they train a lot hairdressers around the world to sell, to apply this super luxury great hair that you look amazing. And we're saying, okay, but hairdressers will never be impacted by technology or AI. And we saw a couple of weeks ago.
Why not humanoid hairdressers?
Exactly. That's what I showed them. There's a movie, not AI made, by robots. Robots will cut your hair and they will make a nice job. So even things that you thought that will never be robotized because you need the human contacts, maybe it's us, but the kids, if you have kids, I have kids, they love things with robots. They don't like people, they like robots. So it's going very fast. And I think we'll see robots taking all the boring things, all the repetitive things, all the things that you do in marketing, sales, in operations, will be do. So there's just projects. And that's the project economy. So the future of work is not whether you work from home, you work.
So what happens to a hairdresser then?
No, I don't know. They will need to reinvent themselves. Projects will be done 50, 60% by robots. So there's 3 days per week that will need to reinvent themselves. Everybody will need to reinvent themselves.
So basically that is depressing. I thought like those are the only jobs I can go to. Like be a carpenter, be a hairdresser.
It's just going so fast. It's going very fast. Plumber. I think, there will be some type of work, but it's going to be very different. And I'm not afraid, I think, but you need to embrace that new way of working where nothing is fixed. You don't have something for 3 years. It might be 9 months, and then you have something else for 9 months. And
what is the difference between project economy and gig economy?
Gig economy is the first phase, so that happened already. That was the first wave. That was more external, so many people who left work because they didn't like or they were kicked out, and they found their way that there was jobs for them to do projects for companies. Now this one is massive. This is changing how you organize your business. This is moving from hierarchy to teams, from departments to projects, portfolios. And Bayer, for example, is an example. Bayer, the German company, they moved from I don't know how many hierarchies to just teams of 5,000 people, 5,000 teams of groups of people working for 9 months and moving to the next thing. There's one exercise I love to do with senior leaders. Imagine this in where you were working in Pepsi, or imagine just say to all your team on Monday morning, let's say, listen, team, for this week, just an experiment I learned from Antonio. This team, all of you, nobody has a job description. Nobody has a job description, and there's no hierarchy. So we're all the same. We're all the same. Just for 1 week. What will happen? Chaos, panic. Sometimes people come to see, Antonio, I told you last week I hate my boss, but I prefer a boss I hate than not having a boss. I don't know what to do. I don't know. But the day two, they say, hey, what are you working, Shekhar? Oh, I had some experience on that. I kind of joined, and you start working without planning meetings, without sending minutes. You just connect on the priorities of your team. And day three, everybody has already things to do. And day five, they love it. You don't need to ask permission. You don't need to ask for approval. I'll work where I think I can add more. You create naturally these teams, this focus, the prioritization. The bosses, they support, they help, they're part of it. So it's radical change from having a job, having a hierarchy, to trying to find your place based on your skills, on what you like. So this is what...
Don't you think like that is never possible?
It's risky.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not possible because the people don't have the skills or they're afraid.
No, I think we like power, domination, and control.
There are cultures who love the power and domination.
Who doesn't like it? Don't you like it?
I like...
You're in control of your own life.
Yeah.
Right? Don't you like power?
I like power. Yeah.
Don't you like to dominate?
Yes. You destroy my theory. I like to work in teams. I like to get the best of the people. But I do like to take decisions, move forward. So give some guidance, and when things don't work, I can jump in. But yeah, I don't like the power that comes with hierarchy. I like the power that comes with leadership, with ideas, with making people feel good. I want that you succeed. If you succeed, I'm happy. This kind of is different type of power. In a sense, it's influencing power. But when you have a team mindset, if the team wins, you're happy, right?
No, I've seen. See, I talk about my leadership style.
Tell me.
Very chaotic. Very chaotic.
Yeah?
Oh my God. Like, it's
really
chaotic. So I don't care about hierarchies at all. I go sit with like an intern and I go and sit and work with them. Like, seriously.
Amazing. That's
right?
Great. Yeah.
So it drives sometimes my team nuts. Because like, how could you like skip all like 6 levels and go directly to them?
Yeah.
And then they freak out about basically like control. They're like, you are not giving me control. You're not giving me control.
Yeah.
But they exercise control on their structure.
Yes.
It's crazy,
crazy.
So why are you finding problems? So they skip and go.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not a problem.
Yeah.
When I skip and go, it is a problem.
It's a problem.
I'm like, don't be like,
yes.
hypocrite.
Yeah.
Word. So I've read, so the people who love, basically, like I feel that it's the style, right? Like, when you create that frictionless organization or boundaryless organization or hierarchyless organization, everyone has to be the same.
Yes.
And everyone is so unique. That's why I like, as much as that's a very aspirational theory, I love the theory. And I think like more people should do that. In fact, like, Elon Musk only thinks that there are only 3 titles that matter in a company.
Which ones?
The president, the secretary, and the controller.
Okay.
Those are the only 3 roles that matter. Everything else is bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, according to him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, that's his theory, but like,
yeah,
mostly true.
It works for him.
Mostly true and works for him.
Yeah.
So, and what works for you doesn't work for others. So.
Yes. Yeah.
So, anyway, so you were loosely using the words project, task, and operations.
Yeah.
What is the difference between all of them?
Operations is the things that you do like every day, the same. Is
repetitive.
Are critical. It's how you run your business. It's how you make the money today. So it's the whole kind of supply chain from getting the goods, producing the goods or the services, selling them, paying your people, collecting the money, the marketing.
So it's not frequency dependent. It's just repetition.
It's repetition. Is
Because I could write a PO every other day.
Yeah.
Would it be considered like operations?
Yes, exactly. If you do it constantly, if you work with similar people, you have so that's kind of operations.
What is a task?
Task can be something that you do in operations to improve operations, a bit of a specific activity that you need to do, a meeting for discussing a new campaign or changes. So that's like a task, is something ad hoc, small.
And what is a project?
And project is change. Project is improvements, is new things. That's the definition. You might be organizing events. That's your job, but every event is different. You have different people. So that's the difference. It's something that it's always unique.
Yeah. So if that is so unique, when you started the whole conversation and you said like there was this team with like 50,000 people and they couldn't give me 20 people.
Full-time, yeah.
Yeah, full-time people. Were those people actually in operations, or they were like, okay.
The operations is a small word for a big scope. So operations, you count business, you count sales. So operations is not just the operations, like how you run your company. So, and these people have run the company duty. So they have a department, they're in a business unit, they work in a silo, and so that's the challenge, that they have this role there. So that's operations, is day to day. And then I want them to move now to do just a project, but it didn't work. It was not possible.
Did you know that I'm half German?
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Before the continental shift.
Yeah.
When Germany was part of India.
Ah. Oh my God. That's a good one.
So the reason why I asked that question is that not the German one, but the project, task, and operation, because people always confuse themselves with project and operations. And most of the time they classify themselves as doing projects, while they're actually doing operations.
That's a big issue in most companies. They call project everything.
Yeah.
And they have more projects than people.
But why are you angry with them? You should be happy because everyone is doing a project.
No, my goal...
Your project economy has come to life.
But my goal is that projects are more successful. And by calling everything a project, you create a big problem.
Yeah.
You still need to have that segregation. Maybe if you follow PMI, that would be a project. But if it's 10 days of work, don't create a project charter. Don't do a Gantt chart. Don't create a project manager for 10 days. Right? Call it a task. That's it. And most companies, they call this a project, which rightly so, but then you have thousands of projects. So I want that people focus on project management for their things that need project management. And that's a big transformation. That's a big implementation. That's a big change, but not to your day-to-day, right?
So there is transformation, there is program, there's project.
Exactly.
And then there is
the task and there's
operation.
Yes.
So that's the hierarchy.
That's the hierarchy, or I don't know if it's a hierarchy, but it's exactly the definitions.
Yeah.
Transformation is a big thing. And you notice I talk a lot of transformation, even if I know their projects. But why do we call transformation? To get the attention of leaders.
Yeah.
Because leaders, they love and they struggle with transformation. For me, the biggest task for any leader today, the CEO, is not AI, is to build a company that can transform again and again and again. That the people within the company are able to adopt AI, but then adopt robots and adopt everything. You don't need to depend on consultants. You will need consultants, but I call it the transformation muscle. Most companies don't have it because they outsource this. The successful companies the next 20 years are the ones that deliver or build this transformation capability within, with the people, with the leadership. And that's why I upgrade how I call project, but and me, and let's not tell it to anyone, but our projects.
I thought I had a biggest conspiracy theory in the world.
Which one?
Not enough Germans.
Yeah, it's a good one.
You know why?
Why?
Because Germans are good in definition.
Very good. Yes.
So
It's black and white.
They're black and white.
Yes.
And so they would define a project as a project.
Yes. Yeah. It's
So the world needs more Germans. Unfortunately, that population is on decline.
It's very much. It's very much.
No, I'm just.
I love this culture. Yeah.
So let's do some rapid fires.
Okay.
So, Antonio,
Tell me. I'm having fun here.
project management in one word.
Oh, wow. A future.
And I thought it was pain.
Pain. I thought pain, girls, pain, it could be. But future is you build the future.
Future. Biggest myth about project management that still persists.
We thought that with Gantt church, you will do everything, but in the end, it's people and decisions.
The one thing Agile got right.
Agile did put the focus on value, deliver value faster, not at the end of the project. Perfection is not possible. I love that.
The one thing Agile got wrong.
For me, this one is Agile told the teams that not having a plan was a methodology. And that's wrong. You always need a plan.
Harvard Business Review in one word. Anglo-Saxon.
It's a difficult one. What would it? For me, it's been a goal. For me, it's a goal. It's an aspiration. Influence.
Project Canvas in one sentence.
Making from a vague idea a clear commitment.
Got it.
Yeah.
So the one most underrated chapter in Powered by Projects, which is your book.
The whole aspect of the senior leadership, the sponsorship, what they do has more impact than methodologies.
Got it. The CEO who most impressed you with how they manage projects.
I have a few, but the one that marked me the most was when I researched Steve Jobs.
I thought you said like I did your project really well.
Yeah. You will be number 2. But no, I learned when he was back, he canceled massive amount of projects and products. And then I learned how he developed the iPhone, the first iPhone. And it's a marvel. It's one of the best projects from a CEO perspective. Yeah. He managed to extract the best people from Apple and put them full time to do the project.
Yeah. AI in project management, is it a threat or a tool?
I think it's a tool for the people who focus on the leadership, the people aspect, the relationship. It's a tool. For people who focus on the administrative task, it's a threat.
Got it. The job that disappears first.
I think all the entry-level jobs will be gone. The boring things that we did when we started, remember? Those will be gone.
I thought you were going to say the opposite.
Which one?
The middle management. Because there will be no hierarchy.
It's true.
Your philosophy will come true.
Can I delete that one? It's a good one. Thank you. Middle managers. It's true. You're right. Middle managers. You don't need them. I like that.
Yeah. And then your life will come true.
Yes. Yeah.
And then you can be the brilliant 50.
Yeah.
The best brilliant 50.
The best. We need to have these talks more often. I love that. The middle manager. Yes.
Yeah, because there will be no hierarchy.
This is the article.
Oh, you got me 2 articles now.
Already.
Oh, wow. Like, let's do that. And you have to do my project.
Yeah. No, I'll help you.
Yeah. The human skill that becomes most valuable.
Talk half of the call here in the webinar. In the podcast, we talk about people, relationship, understanding the politics. And one thing for me, it's very important. Be confident. Be confident on what you're saying. Yeah, fight for it. Very important.
The city where you think most clearly.
Oof. Ooh.
Is there a city called Oof?
I think most clearly in planes. It's not the city. It's in the sky in planes. I can switch off and nobody can bother me.
I got it.
Yeah, that's
So no phone.
no fun. I don't get the Wi-Fi. It doesn't work anyway. So just me and thinking, put some music and have some quiet time.
Got it. The project in your personal life that took the most out of you?
Well, we didn't talk about that, but I think the personal life, it's tough when you go through separations and divorce, and we didn't go into that, but I had, and it's painful because it touches people, it touches kids. It's just a very sensitive thing that's painful. I can be fired. It's on me. I don't mind, but that part of life that is tough is, I would say a divorce can be very painful.
How did you manage that?
Trying to, it's not easy. It's not easy. It's just a long process, trying to keep focus, trying to listen. But it's like, it's just very painful. It takes for years, but hoping that things will get better, patience, and goodwill to give up some things, but the other party has to be willing too, so that you cannot control.
Got it.
That was tough.
Yeah, I can feel the pain.
You can.
Complete the sentence. The most underestimated power in any organization?
What a good question. Underestimate, I would say people in teams is we don't put enough effort in creating teams. And there's nothing better in life and work is to work in teams that you trust, that you do great things with them.
Wow. My friend,
thank you.
It was fantastic. I loved it.
I loved it too.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't think it was going to be like this. I could go on for hours. It's great. Thank you for the invitation, Shekhar. I love that. I really inspiring to me as well. So thank you. I hope it helps the audience. But
for sure, it's going to be amazing. I think a lot of people are going to learn project management from the guru in a very funny way.
Very funny. Very unusual, but it will have impact.
Yeah, it will be very nice. I think it will be like a different way of consuming.
Yeah.
And next time we can talk about your divorce with me.
Yeah.
And I can be your counselor.
Really?
I'm deciding.
Thank you so much.